Hey guys, Harsh here, back in my video. So in this video I'm going to show you how you can make a RGB control box just like this one. So today I'm going to show you how you can make this and control the RG and B aspects of a RGB LED strip. So this is my LED strip over here. So let's get started. Okay, so for this build we are going to use a box. So this will be our junction box and we'll place all the switches over here, and I've painted it black so that it will have a nice matte finish over it, so that's pretty nice. Then we are going to use these 4 switches over here. So these green switches will control the R, G and B lights of the LED strip that we are going to use, and this brown one will be the master switch. So once we flick it, the whole LED panel will switch off if we want to do that. Then we are going to use some jumper pins so that our LED panel can connect to these pins pretty easily, because the LED panel that I'm using has this type female connection, the female jumper pin connection, as you can see. So it can easily just plug it in just like that and supply power to the whole system. Then we are going to use a DC jack, which is you can easily find it in a electronic shop, or if you have a broken electronic equipment lying around, this might have a DC jack on it. So as you can see that it has 3 prongs sticking out of it. So the middle prong, the pin which is connected to this prong over here, is the positive terminal, and the prong that is coming out of here from the middle portion over here, as you can see that it is the ground. And this also can depend upon the power supply that you are using. So in a basic convention mode, the pin, which is this pin over here and connected to this prong over here, is the positive wire, and the prong that is coming over here is the negative wire. And this is an additional wire over here which is for ground, I think. I don't know for sure, but we have no use of it, so I'm going to just remove it just like that. It is pretty easy to move. So right now we have only 2 prongs that are positive and negative. Okay, so before we can mount these switches onto the box and place all the wires connection necessary, I'm going to show you an animation or creation that I created to get an idea of how all the connections are going to work. Now I am a very unprofessional person when it comes to design animation, so I just opened up Paint and unleashed my chaotic skills on an untitled paint project to create a circuit diagram to show you how things are going to work in this project. Okay, so as you can see that there is a master switch over here which will control the 12 volt supply that we are going to power it through, and the ground wire is connected to the R, G and B perspective of the RGB light. So R stands for red light, green stands for green light and blue stands for blue light. So these will be connected to this pin over here, which will be connected to our RGB strip. And the way it works is that the 12 volt supply will always be powered if the master switch is on. So 12 volt supply will flow through the LED strip, and when the R light, the red light, is grounded, then it will power it on, and if the green light is grounded, then the green light will light up, and if the blue light is grounded, then it will light up. This particular configuration is based on the fact that the LED is just like this. So as you can see that over here, the LED that I am using has a 12 volt main supply to it, and then the way it is grounded is with the R, G and B. So 12 volt supply will always flow in the circuit of the LED strip, and when we ground the red LED, it will give us a red light, and when we ground the green LED, it will give us green light, and when we ground the blue LED, it will give us blue light. And then we can go ahead and take the combination of them and make several colors from them. Okay, so after seeing that beautiful presentation, now we can start with the case. So what I'm going to do is create a line in the middle over here, or the little bit off center, because I will put some information over here so that we know that which switch will turn on which light. So what I'm going to do is create a line over here and equally space them so that the switches are placed in a very discrete direction. And right now all these switches in our off position, so you need to determine that which switch is in on position and off position, and it is pretty easy. I mean, if you don't know how to do that, then why are you even here? So all the switches will go like this, and all their sticks will point in the down direction, so that means they are off. And if you simply want to switch on a light, then you can just flick it over here, and then you will know that it is in on position and the corresponding light will turn on. And if you don't know the on and off position, then you might end up in a condition where the off position is just like this. So this is not a very perfect way to do it. So always check whether the switch is on or off. So in this case, all the switches are in off position. I pre-tested them before, so all this will go like this, and if I want to turn it on, I will just flick them all just like this, and it will be very perfect looking, just like a nuclear reactor control panel. So as you can see over here, I have created a line, the basic line where all the switches will lie, and I have equally marked these crosses over here, so I know where to put the holes, because these switches faithfully come with a mounting screw, so that you can stick it inside the hole and then just screw it in place with this nut that is about to come loose. So that's pretty nice. So let's drill a perfect hole with the knife or whatever you want to use, so that we can just poke through the. So as you can see that this now switch is placed very cleanly, and it is flicking very easily. So all we have to do is place all the switches over here just like this, and the master switch, that is the brown switch, will go slightly to the left side, so that it is distinguished as a master switch, otherwise it will be common switches just like this one. So now let's drill the other holes and just mount them. Okay, so that was a very tough task, but we have done it. And as you can see that I have scraped off a little bit of paint on some edges and over here, so you can see a bit of cardboard, but we can fix that by just repainting it. Right now we are just checking the connection. So as you can see that all the switches are placed in one line, and by looking at it, it looks very nice. So right now what we are going to do is connect all these terminals. What I'm going to do is right now connecting these terminals with each other. So there will be a straight line going from these terminals over here, and this will be the ground terminal, and from here they can pass through to the pins that we are going to place over here. So from here this will go to pin 1, this will go to pin 2, and this will go to pin 3, and for pin 4 we will connect the wires from here to here. So as you can see that it turned out pretty nicely, and I have connected all these pins together. Now what we can do is take 3 individual wires and connect them to the middle pins of each of the switches, so that we can connect them further to the male pins over here. So we can just create a slot here and then just place it in there and just secure it with some hot glue. Okay, so I am going to do the tiny connections first, because I find it easier to solder them outside the box than inside the box. So I have pre-cutted these blue wires that I'm going to connect with the pins on the bottom. So I have pre-soldered them also, so soldering will be a pretty easy challenge for me. So now let's connect the wires to these 3 pins on this side. Okay, so as you can see we have connected the prongs to the wires very easily, and it was not a very difficult task if you know how to solder wires. So the next step is to connect our plus 12 power. So I'm going to use a red wire for this purpose and connect it to the last remaining pin of this pin thing, whatever you like to call it. So let's do it. Okay, so as you can see that the prongs wires are now correctly connected to the pins. So this red wire will provide power, and these 3 wires will connect our RGB, and we can figure out, once we connect all the switches, we can figure out easily that which wire conducts which one. So right now as you can see that it is a bit of a mess up there, so the chances of short circuit are very high. So what I'm going to do is heat shrink them so that they are nice and isolated, so they will not conduct electricity from here, and then from there we can move on. So as you can see that now all the pins are properly isolated, so there is no chance of short circuit. Now we can go ahead and connect this to our junction box. Okay, so now I have connected these wires to the middle pins of these switches. So it is a very clean look, not that very much clean but clean. So now the red wire, the remaining red wire will be connected to the master switch. So it will be connected to the middle pin of the master switch, and from here we can connect another wire to the DC jack. Okay, so this is our final connection, and then this will go to the DC jack, and we can just poke these pins through a slot over here, which I am going to cut shortly. So now let's connect the DC jack first to them. Okay, so now all we gotta do is connect this jack by creating a hole on the cardboard side. So what I'm thinking is that we can place it either here, and there are a lot of options. So let's take a position and just cut a hole inside, and then just place this thing on there and just hot glue it together. Okay, so as you can see that I have hot glued the power jack over here and connected the pins to the board by cutting a hole, and I have to put some hot glue plus some permanent adhesive to make sure that it does not move at all, because it is a very delicate piece in this case. And same with the power adapter. So let's close it up and let's see how it functions. So I have cut some grooves over here for the switch to reside in, so that way the box is pretty easily slided into its case, just like that. And now we can just power it up from here, and then we can connect our LED strip from here. So this is my LED strip over here, and I have connected a extension wire so that I can easily connect it to the control box. So this goes over here, and I will connect the power from this side. It is a 12 volt power, and this is a 12 volt LED panel, so you need to keep in mind that. So let's power it on. This is the master switch, as I said earlier, and this switch will control the RGB perspective of this light. So if I flick the switch, you can see that it turns blue, and it is overexposing a camera a little bit, but that's okay, we are just testing it. So I have turned it off. Now we can go ahead and flick this switch. So as you can see that it now illuminates red, so that's very nice. And then the last switch will be green. So just like that, you can control the lights like that. And if you flick the R and the blue button, then you get a nice purple color, and if you flick all the switches, then you can get a white light. Now we can go ahead and label these switches over here. So this is the blue button, this is the red button, and this is the green button. So we can paste some stickers over here for a better demonstration on which color will be shown when you flick these switches. So let's do it right now. Okay, so now I have labeled all the switches. So this is for on and off. So down is the off, and up is the on. So you can indicate the on and off position from here. And here I have labeled the colors of the switches. So this switch will control the blue light, this will control the red light, and this will control the green light. And then what I have done is here mark them. If I mix the blue and the red color, then I will get purple, and if I mix the red and the green, then I will get yellow, and if I mix all of them, then I will get a white color. So it's a little chart showing that which color will give which color, and if you mix them together, then they will give a certain type of color. So that's pretty nice, and that's how you make an RGB control box. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. Hope you like it. Please like, subscribe and share. Thank you.